Since 1935, generations of faithful have gathered in this beautiful church to worship God and to grow in their Catholic faith. About 50 years later, that group of 200 families had grown to more than 2,000, almost 3,000 families. And in 1987, this beautiful church became the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception. That vision of faith that began with 200 families in 1935 continues to nurture the Catholic community here in Tyler now in 2007. The vision of Bishop Edmund Carmody began an annex chapel, St. Paul's, that has served the community here since 1995. And it has become a vibrant part of this cathedral parish. Join us in working together as people of faith like those more than 50 years ago who began to plant firm roots here in the city of Tyler, of our beautiful ancient Catholic tradition. Invite you to join us in a next step, fully supported by today's Bishop, Alvaro Corrada, in building a St. Peter and Paul's chapel that will take us into the future, along with this beautiful cathedral building being a place for all of us continue to worship God and to grow in our Catholic faith.
Take, Lord, receive all my liberty.
We have a rich heritage in the generations that have come before us, who committed their hearts and the work of their hands to build this church in God's honour. One faithful step after another brought an increase in parish membership and a parallel expansion of buildings and space. Through faith, prayer and sacrifice, we have continually risen to the challenges of our ever-expanding parish.
My dear friend Vince Richburg and I have had the privilege and pleasure of serving on the Finance Committee of the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception Parish throughout Father Joe's tenure as pastor. Soon after his arrival, Father Joe launched a project to assess the needs of the parish. After much study and prayer, and with his clear vision and driven by his fiscal prudence, he led us more than 10 years ago to embark on a campaign to retire the then existing debt and construct a long overdue facility for the parish to gather as community. The parishioners responded with extraordinary generosity to Father Joe's insightful vision. Collectively, we paid off all the parish debt, put the parish on a sound financial footing, and built this wonderful cathedral center which serves us so well today. More recently, that sound financial footing provided the parish with the financial flexibility to pursue a long-standing vision to acquire and renovate the facility we now know as the J.J. Solly Outreach Center. That much-needed space enables the parish to actively provide a number of ministries, including the charitable works of St. Vincent de Paul Society. During the same time frame, the renovation of the cathedral sanctuary was completed, placing the tabernacle in a more prominent location. At this point in time, the parish owes a balance of approximately $750,000 for these projects. That figure, coupled with the estimated cost of $3 million to build, landscape, and furnish the chapel of Saints Peter and Paul, gives rise to this stewardship capital campaign of $4 million.
Money follows great ideas. Bishop Carmody said that repeatedly during the capital campaign of this beautiful cathedral center, which continues daily to be living proof of that statement. The parishioners of the cathedral have always been faithful to Monsignor Joe's call to help fund visionary initiatives. As a second-generation lifelong member of the cathedral and longtime parish finance committee member, I have observed firsthand the continued extraordinary generosity of my fellow parishioners. I have no doubt that you, the cathedral parishioners, will respond again to Monsignor Joe's vision of one parish, 2 locations, a chapel to serve both the cathedral parish community and the students of the Tyler Catholic School System. The financial picture for each one of us is different. This campaign is not about equal gifts, but equal sacrifices. Jim and I and our families are fully committed to this campaign, and we seek your support, your commitment, your pledge to make this vision a reality. This is a moment, not for a few, not for many, but for all.
Take, Lord, receive all I have and possess. You have given all to me, now I return it.
Balancing the needs of the community, in my mind, has been seeing all fronts of the cathedral community come together at the T.K. Gorman campus because of the location and because of the need for the growth of the Catholic Church. The thought is been bring the St. Paul Chapel together with the cathedral community and also the T.K. Gorman campus to create something for the future of our Catholic community. As we got into the project in terms of determining the site, we're all aware of the west location of the T.K. Gorman campus was our first choice, and because of the cost of construction, the accessibility issues, and the loss of existing parking, and then the shortage of additional parking that was going to be required, was our biggest reason to leave that location. And the contributions made by architects, some of the engineers, and people from our cathedral community brought some of the great points up to move it from that west side of the campus to where it currently is. And Father Joe's core committee was instrumental in guiding that direction of do the best for the community, not do the best for any one part of the community. And that's been a really good testament to this point of where we are. The chapel location at T.K. Gorman will be very accessible to the entire Catholic community and have a great presence there on the loop, as well as on the Gorman campus for the students that attend Mass on a regular basis. The chapel itself is approximately 100 by 150 foot building, approximately 15,000 square feet. The chapel will seat about 750 people, and there'll be some opportunities for expansion as we've planned in the future. The architectural elements, I think, will complement the T.K. Gorman campus. Visually, you're going to feel a sense of place driving around the loop. You're going to see the St. Peter and Paul Chapel is a beacon to our faith community, and it will be a strong presence that the Catholic community will be proud of.
Take, Lord, receive, all is yours now.
As Paul writes in his letter to the Ephesians, we are united as one with Jesus in the Holy Spirit. This bond is renewed each time we celebrate the sacrament of the Holy Eucharist. There are rare, eventful times when renewal is not a gift from God to us, but a gift from us to God. This is now such a time for the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception Parish, an opportunity for symbolic expression of that renewal of the Spirit, the building of a new worship space to celebrate His presence.
Almost 130 years ago, the Catholic people of Tyler began celebrating the sacred liturgy on Locust Street in a little wooden church just north of the downtown square. In 1934, that same faithful community built what is now the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception. In 1958, this plot of land on the South Loop became Catholic High, and later Bishop T.K. Gorman Catholic High School. I invite you to join the Catholic community of Tyler to once again grow for the future in building a chapel of Saints Peter and Paul on this Gorman campus to allow us to continue to grow as people of faith. Join us in building the Catholic future of Tyler.